Imagine it's the late 1990s. The internet is booming, and a new digital age is dawning. A tidal wave of optimism is sweeping across the globe. Startups with little more than a website and a bold idea are suddenly being valued in the billions of dollars. Investors, gripped by a fear of missing out, are throwing money at anything with a .com in its name. It felt like the greatest wealth creation opportunity of a generation. Then, almost overnight, the music stopped. The dream shattered. Trillions of dollars in market value vanished into thin air. Famous companies, once the darlings of Wall Street, declared bankruptcy. Millions of ordinary people watched their life savings disappear. This was the .com bubble burst, one of the most dramatic and unforgettable financial crashes in modern history. In this video, we're going to dive deep into this incredible story. We'll explore how the .com bubble formed, what caused it to burst so spectacularly, and the critical, lasting lessons it taught the world about technology, investing, and human psychology. To truly understand the .com bubble, we have to go back to the mid-1990s. Personal computers were becoming more affordable, and internet access was spreading into homes and offices everywhere. A powerful idea took hold. The internet was going to revolutionize everything: commerce, communication, and our entire way of life. Businesses saw enormous, untapped potential online. This excitement led to a radical new belief among investors that the old rules of business no longer applied. Companies with a .com suffix were attracting massive amounts of funding, even if they had no profits. In many cases, they didn't even have any revenue. It didn't seem to matter. Venture capital flowed like a river into these new age startups, and their initial public offerings, or IPOs, became sensational events. The year 1999 was the peak of this frenzy. Hundreds of internet companies went public. It wasn't uncommon for their stock prices to double, or even triple, on the very first day of trading. The media amplified the hype, and optimism was inescapable. The future, it seemed, belonged to the internet, and everyone wanted a piece of it. But as the excitement reached a fever pitch, pure speculation began to drive the market. Many investors weren't buying stocks based on a company's actual performance or long-term potential. They were buying based on hype, media headlines, and a powerful fear of being left behind. It was a classic case of what's known as greater fool theory: buy high and hope to sell to an even greater fool for a higher price. As early as 1996, the Federal Reserve chairman at the time, Alan Greenspan, gave a now famous speech where he warned about irrational exuberance in the markets. But his warning fell on deaf ears. The party was just getting started, and no one wanted it to end. .com companies were burning through cash at an astonishing rate. They spent enormous sums of money on lavish marketing campaigns and over-the-top Super Bowl ads, all designed to grab attention and build brand recognition. Profitability was often dismissed as an old-fashioned concept. The new mantra was, get big fast. The primary focus was on attracting website traffic and eyeballs, with the assumption that profits would magically follow someday in the distant future. Stock prices soared to levels that had no connection to reality. The valuations were astronomical, completely detached from traditional business metrics. But beneath the surface of all this excitement, a fragile system was developing. These companies were not building sustainable businesses. They were running on borrowed time and investor cash. When that cash ran out, and when investor confidence finally started to wobble, the entire house of cards was poised to collapse. The turning point came in early 2000. A few key factors converged to prick the bubble. The Federal Reserve began raising interest rates, which made it more expensive for companies to borrow money. At the same time, a growing number of investors started to ask the tough questions. Can these internet companies ever actually become profitable? Or is this all just a fantasy? In March 2000, the Nasdaq Composite Index, which is heavily weighted with technology stocks, hit its all-time peak. It was the top of the mountain, and right after that, the descent began. A few major institutional investors started to sell off their tech holdings. At first, it was a trickle, but that trickle quickly turned into a flood. As stock prices began to fall, confidence evaporated. The fear of missing out was replaced by a new fear, the fear of losing everything. Investors who had rushed in now rushed to get out, triggering a rapid and brutal market crash. Panic selling took over. Many .com companies saw their share prices plummet by 80, 90, or even 95% in just a matter of months. The fallout was swift and devastating. A wave of high-profile failures followed, becoming cautionary tales for a generation. Companies like Pets.com, which famously spent millions on a sock puppet mascot, went from an IPO to liquidation in less than a year. Webvan, an ambitious online grocery delivery service, burned through over $1 billion before going bankrupt. And eToys, once valued higher than Toys R Us, collapsed under the weight of its own flawed business model. By 2002, the Nasdaq had lost nearly 80% of its value from its peak. Trillions of dollars in wealth had been erased. The dream of instant internet riches was over. The .com crash had a profound and painful impact, not just on Wall Street, but on Main Street as well. Millions of ordinary people who had invested their savings, often through retirement accounts like 401ks, suffered catastrophic losses. Many employees at tech startups, who had been promised wealth through stock options, lost not only their jobs but also their paper fortunes overnight. The broader economy felt the shockwaves too. Business investment declined sharply, especially in the tech sector. Unemployment in Silicon Valley surged. The United States officially entered a recession in 2001, a downturn that was tragically deepened by the shock of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Confidence in the financial markets was shattered, and the public's trust in new technology companies collapsed. But despite all the destruction, the .com bust was not the end of the internet. Far from it. In fact, many of today's most successful and dominant technology companies are the ones that survived the crash. Companies like Amazon, Google, and eBay made it through the fire because they were different. They focused on building real, sustainable business models. They prioritized efficiency, and they were committed to creating long-term value for their customers. The crash cleared out the excess and left a foundation for healthier growth. The crisis taught investors, entrepreneurs, and regulators a series of critical, hard-won lessons. First, growth without profits is a dangerous game. Eyeballs and clicks don't pay the bills. Second, hype and media frenzy can blind rational judgment. The fundamentals always matter. Third, while technology can be transformative, it doesn't eliminate the basic laws of economics. In the aftermath of the crash, a new sense of caution prevailed. Regulators looked more closely at accounting practices. Investors became more skeptical and demanded better due diligence. And entrepreneurs learned that a cool idea is not enough. You need a solid business plan to back it up. Risk management improved, and blind optimism was replaced by a more sober and realistic view of the tech landscape. The .com bubble burst was a painful, expensive, but ultimately necessary lesson. It was a stark reminder that innovation alone is not enough to guarantee success. While the internet did, in fact, go on to transform our world in ways we could barely imagine, the crash proved that markets will always eventually demand discipline, patience, and the creation of sustainable value. The trillions of dollars that vanished overnight left behind a powerful legacy, a lesson in humility and prudence that continues to shape how we think about technology and investing in the digital age. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. Let me know in the comments what you remember about the .com era. See you in the next one.